Well, let's kickstart the show by answering last week's trivia question, which was fairly simple, where we asked you, which was the first men's African national team to qualify for the FIFA Men's World Cup? Now, I know the answer, but it's better when there's two together. To do it with my bestie from another country, and I know South Africans will probably ask me as to, why am I sitting with him again? But we're trying to grow this relationship. Never mind what happened during the week. Adelina joins me, and I want us to answer the trivia question.
All right, before I answer that trivia question, I just want to say I didn't wear that Super Falcons shirt for just respect for you.
Thank you. It was because of studio conditions. But let's get into the trivia question.
So the answer, Egypt in 1934, Morocco in 1970, and Zaire in 1974.
Oh, there you have it. Those are the first three nations to qualify for the FIFA Men's World Cup as far as the African continent is concerned. Thank you so much for answering and for joining along. If you did not, you have an opportunity to do so this week. And this week we have another question lined up just for you. We're asking you about women's football on the African continent. We want to know which was the first women's national team on the African continent to qualify for the FIFA Women's World Cup, as well as the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, should I give the answer or should they watch next week to find
Well, let's
out?
keep them in suspense. We'll answer that question next week. But what you have to do right now is send all your answers to us on social media. Use the hashtag. It's hashtag Fut-Afrique. Now, I'm going to kickstart the conversations by talking all things the CAF and Champions League. I know we've been talking about it for a while, but if you missed this past week, that was the week that you really wanted to start watching, because that's when the teams really put their feet on the accelerator. And may I say, this is what we were asking for. It was games that saw goals being produced. 2 games ended in penalty shootouts. And as it stands, it's Mamelodi Sundowns, TP Mazembe, Esperance de Tunis, and may I not forget, Ahly, who have booked their spot in the next round of the competition. Does any team of these 4 sound out of place?
Not at all, not at all. TP Mazembe, I'm so happy for them. They're getting back to where they were in African football.
Yeah.
And Esperance, well, their fans don't believe that they have a team good enough to face the likes of our Ahly and Sundowns. But it's football at the end of the day. Anything can happen. TP Mazembe brought back their coach Lamin Ndaye, a very big name in African football, and we could see the magic. But in all those games, there was more drama than a Nollywood movie.
Yeah. You've already started with TP Mazembe, so I think let's start with them, right? You talk about TP Mazembe. We know that they went up against Perto de Luanda. Let's just talk about them being able to win away from home, because they were able to switch things up. Let's talk about that, coming from behind and eventually securing their ticket to the next round.
I couldn't believe it. Can I tell you why I thought Petro were favorites in that game? They haven't conceded any goal.
Well, absolutely. We spoke about this last week, yes.
Yes. And when they came into this match, I felt they were playing at home, so it's going to be easy for them. I even put my neck on the line, and in an article I wrote, I predicted that they were going to beat TP Mazembe 2-1. And you know, these things are not good for an analyst to get your predictions wrong, but that's a story for another day.
That just tells me that I need to start betting with you, because then I will make money.
Oh, man.
But you talk about the inclusion of the coach who's been brought back, right? He's been brought in. Let's talk about his influence and how you've seen that side mature over the 2 legs.
Let me tell you, like, he was pacing up and down. He couldn't believe they were missing so many chances. Petro do a great job in investing in foreign players. The player that scored the goal for them is Jonathan Toro, who's from Honduras. They have players like Pedro Pinto, the Brazilian. They have Brazilians and Portuguese players in their ranks, and we expected more from them at home, but it was a clash of styles in that game. Petro is disciplined. TP Mazembe, well, a freestyle, you could see the defender
rough around the edges,
trying to score. But their strength is their striking options. They have players like Joel Baye. They have Philly Traore, the Malian, who's the top scorer in their league. They have Sheikh Fofana, who was injured in that game. He didn't play, but, you know, they're going to be dangerous to our athletes.
We'll say for fun, and people are going to think AFCON. No.
Yes.
No.
But Petro created their chances from crosses and long throws, and they gave up a big chance before halftime.
Yeah.
Oscar Caboet also missed a big chance in there.
Yeah.
And in the second half, last few minutes of the match, Mazembe won the game from a good counter-attacking move. And it was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
For those of you who saw me get that prediction wrong, I was justified, you know?
Rejoicing in your tears, but you're just like, it's okay. Well, that's that game, but there were so many other games that were going around, and people are probably just like, when are you going to discuss the elephant in the room? And I think let's get to that, because before we actually get to the elephants in the room, let's talk about your assessment of young Africans within that encounter. They were able to keep Mamelodi Sundowns from scoring over 2 legs. Who does that? When last did you see that?
I'm telling you, unbelievable. And I was thinking of Yanga using the dark arts at the start of the game, the goalkeeper faking a clamp. It's like they were being coached by Adelani, really. And their defense reminded me of Lagos Traffic.
Yeah.
Just so difficult to penetrate through. But they were superb when it came to their counter-attacking football. Every time they had to counter-attack, there were 3-6 players waiting in the box. But I was worried a bit for Sundowns, because I was thinking of the semi-finals against Wydad Casablanca the last time around, and individual errors being made. I was thinking the players were trying to sabotage the coach.
Yeah.
And this time I wanted to see whether they'd improved and they'd gone past all those individual errors that they were making. But the game reminded me of 3-4 seasons ago when they lost to Petro and they were knocked out. But Mamelodi Sundowns, well done to them, reaching the semi-finals for the second time in a row. And I think, we can talk about the controversy now.
Well, we come back.
We can go to the crime scene.
We will go to the crime scene when we return. Just make sure that you have your gloves with you. But if you wear glasses, make sure that you pop them on, because you don't want to miss it.